Bass heads, YouTube, mechanics, party people in the place, OG Soda Pop Kid coming to you direct. That's Soda Pop Kid on YouTube. Soda spelled with two D's. Soda spelled with two D's. Soda Pop Kid. Here with another tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to tell you what this is about. Remember the last video that I did about played out, the word played out, and I described what played out is? You know, clothes, hairstyles, dance styles, phrases we use and all that being played out. And the last part of the video was about car audio bashing being played out. How everything that's played out comes back in style. Okay, but I talked about car audio bashing in the end. Well, this is more about car audio bashing being played out. It's about car audio bashing and how played out it is. Okay, so this is what this subject is about here. And I'm showing in my trunk, I got what I'm running nowadays. Now I have many builds in this car. Now I've talked about this car. I've had this car since 1998 when it was an ordinary Oldsmobile Delta 88. 1984, that is, when it had a quadrajet engine in there and condenser and air conditioner and a 307 engine. Now I got a 350 Golden Rocket in it. When it only had one alternator and all of that. And everywhere I've driven with this car, and I have so many bills in this car, and how much money I've spent and all the modifications since I've had this car since 1998. I did videos on that. Go watch them. All right, well, I'm currently running, as you're looking at, 8 Tara amp. You know, some chick named Tara, her grandmother named Tara, however you spell them, or however you pronounce it. I say Tara amp, MD8Ks in here. It's been a couple years since I've had these amps. Haven't had any issues with them. I got 190 amp hour C-Max lithium battery in here. This battery is running the whole entire vehicle and everything in the vehicle. I have a battery delete up front. There's not a battery up front. It's just a box holding a battery terminals. You know what I mean? Distribution blocks, if you want to call it. All right, and my Haas amps are over there. They're American-based VFL, little mini hybrid 250.4s is over there. There's 3 of them running the doors. Okay, yeah. I'm running 8 HD V2 Blue Basket 12s. I'm currently doing 162.03 decibels. Okay, metered in 2021. I didn't compete last year. I barely had the car out last year. I would really like to get the base 30Ks, man, when and if ever I can afford 4 of them. All right, but for now, these MD8Ks has treated me real well. These amps has been good to me. You know what I mean? The company, you know, my man Damian T.C. Taylor, my man, project manager for Terrence. He's been real good to a dude, man. That's my boy. You know, shout out to him. You know what I mean? Everything's been good, Damian. That's why I haven't been. And then I've been, technically what I've been doing too, y'all, is I've been like paying back credit cards, man. Like I've been consolidating a lot of cards. You know, I had like a lot of cards that I was using mainly on stuff like this. I got to be more wiser than that. And I've been paying back, you know, cards are consolidating. I ain't going to let my credit go to hell. Oh, heck no. I'm smarter than that now. I've been consolidating and paying off stuff, man. So all that just spending money on car audio stuff, I had to slow down on that, man, you know? So once all that's done, man, then I decide I want to change some stuff. You know what I mean? And I know they got a new MD8K out, a new one. Just like it got the double powers on them, the double positives and double negatives. Now these are the older ones. I still got the older models. And I've seen the newer models and I thought about switching to them, but all that costs money. So I would have to sell these and then get those and add to. add money to them and all this and that, man. But nevertheless, it still costs money. Still. You know what I mean? So let us move on. And I got the lights on in there to show everything in there. This is about car audio bashing and how played out it is. Okay? And I've been through this. And I know a few of you bass heads has been through this too, where you get these guys that come and they bash, brands and bash equipment. And yes, they do bash Terra amps, they're dirty power. And you know what I mean? And I remember when American Bass was one of the best companies out there. And I remember when I couldn't afford American Bass and I was running Lanzar. And I was like, there was a sales rep that used to work for Lanzar. You know what I mean? Dominic, his name was Dominic Sabara. And he was treating me pretty good. I was using, he was hooking me up with prices and stuff like that. And I was using the 1200D Lanzar amplifiers. The first monoblock amplifier I ever used was a Lanzar. When they came up with the one-channel monoblocks. That was the first monoblock amplifier I ever used. You know what I mean? Because I was using AB class amplifiers before then, like the Precision Power A600.2, stuff like that. And when I was running Pyramid, back in the 90s, Pyramid and running the kicker competitions and the kicker free airs. And even Pyramid had free air subs. I was running free airs for a while. And a lot of you guys don't know nothing about the free air subs. When you can just make a baffle in the trunk and put them on a baffle and use your trunk as a box. You know what I mean? I go back that far. And a lot of you don't know nothing about stuff like that. And when we was using AB class amplifiers, you know what I mean? And when I was, for the longest time, I didn't compete. I just was a street beater that rode up and down the street back in the 90s. And other old school guys was competing with AB class amplifiers and multiple subwoofers in their vehicles. And when Boss was a company that had world records back in that time. You know what I mean? Man, my man for DB Drag, one of the DB Drag judges, why am I forgetting names? It's late at night, y'all. Oh, Sam Horn was out there competing. You know what I mean? With the big, when he had the big armored car with all the Boss stuff in it. But these are brands now, like Boss and Pyramid that you guys would clown. But nevertheless, those brands were good then and they would be good now. Duh. But nevertheless, let's talk about brand bashing. Brand bashing is played out. When I was out there running power acoustic subs and I really started competing, when I was running Lanzar, and then I moved over to power acoustic and I really got into competing like in 2002, somewhere around there. And I really started competing and really started learning more about car audio. I didn't know everything or don't know everything because I was running, doing this stuff since the 90s, since like 1990, 91 when I got into it, before I even knew how to build a box or even connect a wire. It was like in 1992 when I really started putting my hands in this stuff and started learning how to build a box and all that. And it was trial and error, like I said. You know what I mean? And I really started really learning when I started competing. I did not know everything. Okay? And still don't know everything. There's guys that I can go to and ask questions, and they're younger than I am. And I can go and ask them questions, about certain stuff that I don't know. But what I don't like is when some of these guys are on these forums, these car audio forums, and they're listening to OGs and all that talk about certain amps and certain subs and certain head units and certain line drivers and EQs and wire, OFC, CCA, and which is better. And I've heard guys talk about they ran a test between the two, the OFC and all of that. to see how much of a difference OFC is better than CCA, and it's not that much of a difference, and you got the guys that say there is that much of a difference. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. Okay, we get it. You know, it's you know, it boils down to an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. Like they say, opinions is like assholes. We all have one. Everybody has an opinion on what they like to use and what is better. So you use what you buy what you can afford. Everybody can't afford a $1,500 sub and a $2,500 amplifier. And multiple ones of that. Everybody can't afford that. So you buy what you can afford. But, you know, as they say, when you build boxes, it's technically the build, you know what I mean, versus the equipment. You know what I mean? It's the build, it's the box. If you build the box right and you build the box of specs, the speaker's going to slam, even if it is a cheap sub. It's going to slam. And there's guys out there, you know, when I was running Power Acoustic subs, there's a dude out there that was doing 163s with eight Power Acoustic Mofo 15s in a fourth order. That was a fourth order, and doing 63s. And I was doing 155s with four Mofo 15s in a flat wall. All right, with 8 Shark amplifiers running them. You know, once that happened, everybody stopped bashing me when I started putting up those kind of numbers using Mofos. But granted, if that number technically would have been a 56 or a 57, if I would have had this window right here, the driver's side window rolled down, and I would have put that mic in the kick, I would have been doing 56s close to 57s with the same Mofos and the same Shark amps, man. I was doing 53.7s and 55s and that. Well, I was going in the kick with the 55s, but I had this window rolled up, so it still was sealed. If I would have rolled down this window, that score would have went up 1.5 dB to 2 dBs just by rolling down this window. So when I was doing my 8 Mofo 12s, all right, with the 8 SPL amplifiers, okay, and I got my first 150 with 4 Mofo 12s and 2 SPL amps. I got my first 150.7 with what I just told you, Mofos, in this vehicle. And granted, y'all see that this is a big chamber. So you got guys out there like Chase Breedwell that's doing 165s with 4 15s and 4 Crossfire 8K. Well, I heard he went to the 16Ks, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's doing this in a little CRX, bro, or a Honda Civic in a little car. So a smaller vehicle with bigger subs and it is going to be louder. Duh. This is a pretty big chamber here. And I didn't have 418s in here and 415s and 812s on several different occasions. And I've did 10s before too. I did 12 10s, but never got to really hear what they can do. Like a week later, I tore it all out because I didn't have enough power running them 10s. They were HDs. Okay. You know, the bashing that I was getting with the Mofos until I put up those numbers, everybody shut up. Everybody shut up when I put up the 55s with 4 Mofo 15s. Now everybody was curious on how I did it. Then everybody was curious about Shark amps. And I had Shark amps. They were bashing the Shark amps at first until they saw me putting up numbers. You know what I mean? I had 8 Shark 2500s on 4 HD 15s and was doing 57s. When that happened, everybody shut up. Now everybody wanted to buy Shark amps. And then the Audio Pipe already had their mini 2Ks out. I tried them as well. I tried the APCL 1800s. I tried them out. The VFL hybrid minis, I used them and won me quite a bit of trophies with them. I won quite a bit of trophies with the Shark 2500s. I won quite a bit of trophies with the Audio Pipe Mini 2K. So I had 16 Mini 2Ks, I had 8 of the 2500s, and I had 16 of the 2500s. And then Shark started acting real funny, so then I went to the American-based hybrid minis and won many trophies. Then I started using the VFL 12Ks, and I had the VFL 8Ks. And man, I had a lot of stuff in here. I had the 8 of the SPL amplifiers, and I had a lot of builds in this vehicle, dude. Cass was bashing, and then when I started putting up numbers, everybody was quiet. You see where I'm coming from, y'all? The bashing. Cass was bashing. Dudes was on these forums listening to the OGs and going, repeating whatever they were saying without even testing what they were hearing, and coming on bashing people and telling people what to do and how to do it, but they had no proof that any of that stuff was actually doing what they were supposed to do. Car audio bashing has played out, man. I've seen many cats put up numbers with just 212s, 215s, and do 50s and up, okay? And I was out there in the lanes killing cats with mofos and Lanzar. Killing cats, beating cats with expensive equipment, running their mouth. And it's not that I know everything. I will take advice, but when somebody demands advice at me, yo, man, what you need to do, no, I'm not trying to hear none of that, dude. Don't come at me telling me what to do. If you know, I'll take advice, but I don't do everything somebody says do. I do what works for me. What I'm doing is working for me, man. It's working for me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm doing 162s now, and I do believe those speakers, I'm putting 6,378 watts into each one of those speakers on the burp. Granted, they're rated 2,000, 4,000 max, man. 2,000 RMS, 4,000 max, and I'm hitting them with 6,378 watts on the burp. And I have shot 8K through them. I have shot 8,000 through them. You know what I mean, on a 3 to 5 second blast, and they took it. I'm just letting y'all know these subwoofers took that and taking that power, bro. They're taking that power. Do y'all understand what I'm saying to y'all? They're taking that power. Okay? And so Bob, you know, from American Bass will see this. Damien from Terra Amps will see that, or see this too. I've tested so many of Bob's, but I'll be trying to tell Bob, I've used it, you know, mainly the HDs, a lot of the HDs, but I've used it, I got a video on YouTube that got 159,000 views with the Signature 18s. I have 4 Signature 18s. At first I had 16 of the Mini 2Ks on those 18s at first. Okay, I've had the VFL yellow 18s and had the 16, you know, and then I switched over to the VFL 12Ks, you know, to the same, you know, and my numbers did go up when I switched amps. They did, but I still was doing over 60 anyway. Okay, and I've been trying to tell Bob, you know, and I have 723 trophies at home that I've won, and I've been in every division. DB Drag, Mecca, ISPLL, NADBL, IESCA, and USAC. I've been in all of those divisions. I have trophies from all of those divisions, mainly Mecca. I've been in 3 of DB Drag's World Finals and took 4th place 3 times in a row. I've been a 2-time world champion in Mecca in 06, 07. I went for a 3-peat in 08, came in second. I got beat out by Brandon Woodruff. You know what I mean? In the final round, he beat me. I was going for a 3-peat. You know what I mean? I've been to 5 Mecca World Finals, 3 DB Drag World Finals. And you know what I mean? I've been to World Finals, dude. And I've been telling Bob, like, I've been dedicating. I have stepped off and tried other subs. Like, I've tried the Soundstream X5 Tarantulas over over the HDs and all of that. And my highest number's been from the HDs or the Signatures or the VFL Yellows. You know, my highest number has been with American Bass. And I tell Bob, all the time. Dude, I've ran power through these speakers. I've tested these speakers. I've won trophies with these speakers. You know what I mean? And I know that other guys use American bass as well as me, but I have competed. I have traveled in this car. If I tell you that the speakers, or if I'm shooting 6,378 watts into these subs at 3 to 5 seconds, and you know what I mean, and they're taking it, then listen to what I'm saying, they're taking it. And then here comes someone else. Oh, Terra Amps has dirty power. Terra Amps has dirty power. And yeah, but I'm using Terra Amps, and I've shot the whole 8,000 through the speakers before. The older model HDs, I've hit them with AK, and they took it. I mean, I've had the base 15Ks too. I had the base 15Ks before as well. I did try the MD12Ks, and I had the MD12K 1 ohm version. I did not like them. I should have. I mean, I had the half ohm version. I should have got the 1 ohm version and ran them at a half ohm. I would have got a lot more power out of them then. I should have trusted my instincts. I didn't like the half ohm version because I would have had to run them at a quarter of an ohm to get the power out of them. But yeah, these amplifier watt per dollar, these AKs are monsters, bro. They are monsters, and I really like these, man. You know what I mean? So, but I've ran all this power through Bob subs, and sometimes he'll listen to somebody else before me. I have tested and ran these, Bob. If I tell you that they're doing something, then that's what they're doing. And I don't care what anybody else wants to argue. Man, dude, you know what I mean? Well, I'm using the Terra Amps. I'm not having no problem with them going into these subwoofers. Yeah, it's like, listen to me first. Listen, I don't care how long these guys has been using American bass. For some odd reason, they, are coming with some hate. They're either hating or I don't know. But hey, I compete. I've been competing. I got 723 trophies. Do they have them? Yeah, they probably can have that much if they would just tow their car everywhere that I've driven this. Do that. Tow your car everywhere that I've driven this one. This car got mild. That engine has to have over 200K on it. Unbelievable, man. And you bashers, you show and prove, come in the lanes and, no, use this because you heard somebody else say use it. No, do this because you heard somebody else say do it. Scar is junk. American bass, all of a sudden American bass is junk all of a sudden now. I do want to upgrade myself. I do want to move to the Godfather because they have a 4-inch coil and they, the power rating is 3,000 to 6,000. I would like to try the X-Max Monsters too. I do know, as far as burping wise, I don't know what the X-Maxes will do burping wise, but I do know my parking pound might shoot through the roof. That I know, because I know I'll be able to give them massive power in street beating. Now, the highest parking pound I've gotten thus far, using HDs on it, has been a 135.9 was my highest parking pound score, and that's with the mic 6 foot away from the car. For you guys that's never did it, 6 foot away from the car. Not with if the mic is in the car under the kick or on the glass or something like that, then I probably will do like 58 or something on music. I'm pretty sure of that. Probably even a 60 on music. But that would probably be an Iesca. In bass boxing. I haven't tried that yet, but not lately. Okay, not lately. Okay. So you bashers, you can't step to me and come up on me and bash my nothing that I use. And I know William Gay has proved this point with Scar. You know what I mean? Car audio bashing has played out, man. I know I'm not trying to hear all that. And I see a lot of it still happening on the forums with you newcomers, and y'all are uneducated. So first get educated. And there's a lot of OGs that you ought to know about, like me. You know, you newcomers don't know about the Soda Pop Kid. I do get cats that inbox me and ask me a bunch of questions. They do. And I go ahead and I give them. If I don't know, then I'll simply say, look, I don't know, but hey, look, I'm going to send you to someone that does. And you know what I mean? And some of the people, the guys that I go to, I may not tell you all of them because some of them guys really don't want to be bothered. You know what I mean? They don't want a bunch of people inboxing them and bothering them and all that. So I keep a lot of them to myself. And I do take advice. It depends on how you give me the advice. If you come demanding at me or telling me like you're my parents or something, I'm not trying to hear all that. I'll start an argument with you, you know what I mean? And then it's show and prove, and then it's this, that, and the other, and the facts remain. I'm doing 62s, and I do believe there's more than that in here. The speakers that still really ain't broken in. I believe once they break in, my score might slightly go up, maybe. You know what I mean? And when I'm done paying off all these credit cards and getting my credit back up there, man, then I'll probably start moving to another speaker. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Sooner or later, I don't know if I'm competing this year. Well, probably not. More no than yeah. But I will be at shows supporting my team. And our first show is the 23rd of this month. This is April. So our first show, Mecca, is the 23rd at TC Customized. For all of y'all, I am going to post this up on Facebook. I've been posting most of my videos up on YouTube because I give way more responses and views on YouTube with my stuff than Facebook. Even though I got almost 5,000 friends on Facebook, I get more responses on YouTube. So these go up on YouTube. I got many videos on YouTube I haven't even posted on Facebook, but I'm going to post them up about that played out thing. Me describing what played out is. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to post that up on Facebook, but this may go up on Facebook first. This car audio bashing stuff. That's played out. Very played out. Played way out. If anything's played out, that is. Along with a lot of other stuff I would like to talk about that really is played out. Like going to bars and going to clubs and boning somebody else's husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend. That's played out too. Y'all never get enough of played out stuff, I'm telling you. Talking about people behind their back, that's played out. Hating, played out. Yeah. And many more, but this is about car audio. And, my electrical, last few things. I used to have like 13 AGMs back here in the place of where this 190 amp hour CMAX is. I used to have 12 AGMs under there, and then I had acid batteries. Before I ran acid batteries, I've ran Q power, zero gauge wire, and everything, and all of that worked. Bashers. All of that worked. Oh my God. I used to have, before I started putting my batteries and stuff in the trunk, I used to have my batteries, I had 4 acid batteries right behind the seats here. Then I went to 4 AGMs behind the seats. And all of that worked, bro. All of that worked. I still did numbers. As a fact, my first 150 was acid batteries, 4 Mofo 12s and acid batteries right behind the seat with bus bars and all right behind the seats. My first 150. How about that, bashers? Car audio bashers. My voice is getting hoarse down here. This is the second tutorial I did down here tonight, back to back. All right, well, I'm about to be done with all that. I think I gave y'all enough information, about 30 minutes worth. Okay, and another reason why I like YouTube is my tutorials can be 5 hours long, and they'll post it up. Facebook, after like 30 minutes, the sound will go out. I don't know why that happens. So I'd make sure I be like around 30 minutes. If I do a tutorial about something, at least 30 minutes. Okay? Which is right at 30 minutes right now. So you bashers, bash on. Okay, because there's only so much of your nonsense I'll take. I'm used to it, and then I'll just block you. I'll block the hell out of you. I ain't got to listen to all of that. You know what I mean? Find something to do. Like I got better things to do, like go buy a pair of socks, dude. Soda Pop Kid, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.